my channel. For today's video, I thought I would just dip into some makeup that I already have, so nothing is new. So I have some products here laid out that I thought I would use, and I actually was scrolling on Pinterest and I saw this picture and I really loved it, so I want to try to recreate it today. This is the picture. I could not find who was the original creator of this look. If any of you know who did it, please let me know so I can credit them in the description box. For now, I'm just going to put the Pinterest link in the description box so you can click it, and I've tried to find it and I can't find anything. So the look is just really simple on the skin and kind of more editorial on the eyes, and it looks like she doesn't have mascara on, but I'm probably going to wear mascara, so I'm going to be doing this but putting my own spin on a couple of things. So I've already got my eyebrows done with my e.l.f. brow pencil, and my eyes are primed with my Milani primer. So for this look, I thought I would use my Flamingo palette by Violet Voss. It looks to have every color I need. I've got some of these blues and a pink color and these yellow here and this yellow here. So I'm going to dip into the shade Watermelon right there on a bigger brush, and I'm going to put this in the inner portion of my eye socket and blending it out into my crease. Actually, I think I'm going to get a little bit of a smaller blending brush so I can be a little bit more precise. There we go. And I'm just working this in light layers on the inner portion. And then I'm kind of flicking it up into my brow, like she's got it. I'm going in really light layers and very gently feathering this out to blend it. So I think that's good. I got the shape where I want it. I'm taking an even more densely packed brush, just going back into that watermelon color, and I'm just wanting to intensify this. I'm going in light layers because it is easier to build color rather than take it away if you add too much. So, okay, I think that's how I want it. Okay, now I'm taking that first brush that I used before and I wiped it clean, and I'm just going to very gently go along the edges of this and really diffuse it. Yeah, it looks like it comes up high right here and then it kind of drops down more towards her crease. Now it looks as though she has a yellow eyeliner on. So what I'm going to do is dip into the shade Lemonade, and I'm using a flat packer brush, and I'm just going to kind of press this along my lash line. Oops, sorry, I'm blocking you. And what I might do to make this a little bit richer is add just a teeny bit of the shade Sunbathe into that, just to make it a little bit richer. Yeah, there we go. That works. Okay, now I'm taking a tiny blending brush and I'm just gonna very gently feather this up because it looks like the yellow is blended a little bit on the outer corner. So I'm just very lightly blending that. I'm taking a liner brush and mixing that shade Sunbathe and Lemonade, which is the pale orange and yellow, and I'm gonna press this really close to my lash line just to make it even brighter right there. And then I'm gonna take my finger and gently press along the edge of the yellow because I don't want to blend it anymore, but I want to soften that edge, so I'm just using my finger. It doesn't really look like she has anything on her lid, maybe just a skosh. So maybe what I'll do is take that really big brush that I started out with and kind of like press that color on my lid just to kind of make a little hint of it go there. I'm going to take this really big brush and dip into the shade Coral here. It's a little bit lighter than Watermelon. And I'm going to press this along the edge of that watermelon shade in the crease to try to give a little bit more of a gradient onto my lid. So I stared a good 5 minutes at this picture, and it looks like in this little inner portion here on her lid, it's a slightly more warm toned. So what I did was mix the shade Coral here and Sunbathe. And I'm just pressing that just on my lid with this big brush because I don't want it to be a huge amount of color, just a wash. Again, this whole look is about a wash, except for right where this pink is. I'm doing a lot of back and forth, bringing this yellow up a little bit more into this crease. So it looks like whoever did the look mixed the yellow and the pink to create a little bit more of an orangey color up here. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Oceanfront here, and I'm going to run this along my lower lash line. Okay, first I forgot to do my skin before my lower lash line, so I'm gonna go do my other lid and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the other eye done. Now I am going to move on to complexion. So I am going to use my Milani Soft Focus Glow. I'm going to take some on the back of my hand and put it on my brush. And then kind of start applying it on the high points of my face. And then blending it out from there. Now for this look, her skin looks very, very minimal, so I'm just going to use some concealer today. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer, and I have the shade 200 Ivory. And I'm going to put it just a little bit here, the inner and outer corner of my eye, on the redness in my cheeks. Just like a little bit on the areas that I need some coverage. Don't got a lot of blemishes this time, so this should be sufficient. And I'm just going to take that same brush. It is the ColourPop F20. And I'm going to start working this in. What kind of eye looks have you guys been into this summer? I have been into really simple, blown out, colorful looks with a really natural, glowy, radiant skin. Those have been my favorites. Okay, got that applied all over my face. And I'm going to go in with a smaller brush to do under my eyes. This is an angled one from SL Smith Glam. It is the Angled Eye E61. And I'm going to blend this out. I like to use my concealer to kind of clean up the edge of my eye makeup on the outer portion. So I like to kind of cut it along the natural shape of my eye and then blend it down and over. I'm going to take my sponge and just kind of gently run over my entire face just to make sure everything is nice and blended and I don't have a bunch of product in just one spot, and to press it into my skin even more. Okay, now we can move to the lower lash line. I'm going to take this brush. This is the e.l.f. and J.Kissa J1, and I'm going to go into Oceanfront there again and run this along my entire lower lash line. I'm going to wipe the rest off and kind of softly diffuse the edge of that blue. I'm going to take another, just a really flat brush. This is another J.Kissa and e.l.f. brush. It's the J6. And I'm going to mix the shade Beach Ball and Oceanfront. Just a tiny bit of Beach Ball because I want it to be mostly light. But I need a little more green because the color seems to fade on her lower lash line. So I'm going to put this right next to the edge of my lash line. And then I'm going to go back into that first brush and kind of gently buff it out so it's a little softer. Going to add a little bit more of the darker color on this eye. For me, colorful eye looks like this is a lot of fine-tuning, layering up color, blending it, layering on more, and so on to get your desired effect. Okay, I am going to use my Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I am kind of wishy-washy about this because sometimes I feel like it can be a little too dark on me. But I'm going to go with a really light hand and kind of lightly swirl it only on the very high points of my cheek. I feel like in real life, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I feel like when I'm looking in the mirror here, it just looks dark. Like kind of orange. I am going to layer 2 bronzers. The first one I'm going to use is my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunlight 01. And I like to take it and use this to define my cheekbones. So I put it right here underneath my cheekbone and on the sides of my nose and just a hair along my hairline. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of dust my brush off and lightly swirl and buff that in. And I put it under my jaw and slightly drag it down my neck. And then after every step, I like to run my sponge over really lightly just to make sure it's all nice and cohesive. And I want to keep my skin looking like skin, you know? Okay, the second one I like to use is this Kosas bronzer. I can't remember what they're called. Well, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's, you know, it's like this baked domey thing with this beautiful sea glass looking packaging. I hate opening this. It's so hard and I almost broke it right here. I cracked this little piece that holds the lid on, but I really love this as a bronzer topper, and I just like swirl the brush in there and I kind of haphazardly kind of swirl it along my cheek and then bring it down a little bit. It adds a really nice glow and some warmth. Just like, look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Push some of it into my hairline and on my nose. With whatever is left, I like to press it along my cheeks in a W shape. And again, with this sponge, just very, very lightly pressing everything down. I feel like this helps powders especially just mesh into your skin better, making them look more cream-like. If you prefer powders but you really love the way creams look, I suggest trying this trick. It has totally changed the way I do makeup. I'm gonna pop on just a smidge blush. I chose this one from ColourPop. It's called See You Later. It's this nice bright pinky color, and I'm actually going to mix it a little bit with the shade Coral in the palette here. So I'm going to very lightly kind of dust my brush in there and then in the Coral shade, and I'm going to smile and very lightly press this like I'm very, very gingerly pushing this on my cheeks and on my nose and in that W shape on my chin and along my hairline. I'm just applying it right now, and now I'm going to take this big old boy and kind of press to blend, because I don't want to add any more product. I just want to blend the blush I did put down out. I think I'm really happy with how this is looking. I'm going to pop on just a teensy tiny little bit of mascara, and I will be right back. I am back. Mascara is on. I use this CoverGirl Flourish mascara because I wanted a more natural kind of fluffy, barely there look for my eyelashes. So this is the mascara that I always reach for that because it does a really good job. I don't know if you can tell, but my eyelashes are nice and defined, but they're really soft and fluffy. I wanted that because I wanted the eyeshadow to stand on its own really and have the mascara just gently frame, if you will, the eyeshadow. I'm going to look at things one more time, and I think I want more blush. I know. So I'm going to just take whatever is left on the brush and lightly put this on. I like that a lot. Now I'm going to use brow gel. This is the Milani Stay Put Brow Shaping Gel. This isn't my favorite, but I'm out of all my other ones that I really like, so I guess this will do. I have to be really careful with this stuff because I find that it can glob on really easy. And if I'm not careful with how I brush it, it'll get all over my skin like it just kind of did up there, but wheel. Okay, in the picture, her lips don't look like they have really any color to them. But what I'm gonna do is take a lip liner. This is the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in the shade 3 Nude. And I'm going to barely outline my lips, just so they don't disappear into the rest of my face from all the other makeup that got put on. Also, on one side of my lips, the lip color kind of just like is uneven with the other side, so I'm going to straighten that out. Then I'm just going to press with my finger to soften up the line. And I'm going to finish up with a gloss. I'm going to use the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. This is in the shade Berry. These are my favorite. They just came out with a new limited edition flavor, like gummy bear I think it was. It's purple. Oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm gonna for sure buy that. Okay, I'm just gonna, these are so cushiony. Okay. Oh, I love these. They're so cushiony and soft, and they're very moisturizing, which I love because I have super dry lips. So this is, I'm pretty sure it. No, I have to set. I am going to use the Maybelline Glass Setting Spray, and I'm going to cover up my eyes and spray this along the outer corners of my face. Outer corners? The perimeter of my face. Yeah. Now that that's mostly dried, I'm going to take the clean edge of my sponge and very gently press that into the skin, like so. Last step is this Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder Foundation, and I like to take a little brush and dab in here and kind of press this along the sides of my nose in these little crease areas and along my smile lines, and right here on the corners of my mouth, and right above my inner portion of my brow, and just a hair. With whatever's left on the brush, I bring it down my nose. And I only do this in the summertime when it is very hot and humid and I do sweat and it breaks down, especially my smile lines. So I think this is it. I'm going to pop up a picture right here of the makeup look so you can see mine versus the inspiration photo. Yeah, so this is it. This is the finished look. I really like this. I really like the idea of focusing most of the color on the inner crease and blowing it out, and then getting a outer corner color, focusing it on the lash line, and then kind of meeting them in the middle a little bit and not really putting anything in the center. I really want to do this with other color combinations. I think it's really fun, and I just feel really summery and whimsical, and yeah, I really love it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up if you are new and you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you ring the bell, you'll be notified every time I upload a video. And I will leave it at that, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Mwah. Now I think I'm going to take a small... Oh, my brushes are dirty. Okay, maybe this. Dog hair, it's everywhere.